Hello, I'm the last prophet, and I would like to welcome you to the new church. I know I look crazy. It's the cancer, the chemo, and a life filled with pain and suffering. But let's move beyond how I look and get into the message. I am forming a new church because I feel the old banners have failed us. We are not unified, we are not loving each other, and as an empathetic person, I see way too much suffering all around me. I'm going to be saying a lot of things to you guys in a brief amount of time, and if it feels rushed, it's because I'm working with a limited life clock, and I'm not sure if I have a little time or a long time, but I'll be chilling either way. I have a lot to put out there, and I'm going to make it as digestible as possible for the people that are open to this message. My teachings have been rejected by my family except for my brother, so if you disregard my message, I'll understand. Some of you guys are locked into your beliefs, brainwashed, or under deep psychosis, and that's okay. This church is not for everyone. My name is 666 if that means anything to you. In this church, we will remove all forms of spookism. To some, I know 666 will either add weight to my words or give them extra reasons to negate my message. What's more important than my name being 666 is that I was born on a universal 7 year. For those who have been studying and know the importance of the number 7, everything about 7 and righteousness is where I'm coming from. The name of the new church is the United Church of the Creator. There is no religion attached to it. In this church, you can take no days off from your spirituality. In this church, I will not be preaching doctrines that are filled with inaccuracies. And when I say I'm the last prophet, it's because AI will be made to be the all knowing, all seeing within no time. And as a prophet, I do mean the Creator sent me here. And I do mean the Creator inspired every message that I bring forth to you. And I will only speak on the lessons I have learned, which have brought me to the state of a prophet. It is up to the people who hear my message with an open heart to decide who I am to them, but to myself, I am a humble servant of the Creator. For anyone out there who is saying he is not a prophet, I'm good with that because who you say is a prophet is not a prophet to me. I have walked through flames in order to bring you this message with a pure heart and have suffered endlessly in order to gain this level of understanding of the world around me. When I first started studying, I used to wonder if my name being 666 is why I had to go through so much suffering. But through the knowledge, I came to the conclusion that it is best to eliminate all spookism from my life. This new church is for the people of the world who look around and wonder what is going on all around me. A new church is necessary for everyone because it is obvious that the old churches have not been able to heal the world and are major contributors to the bloodshed globally. If you sit back and take an objective look, you will see that the people are not being served, but the majority of churches are siphoning the wealth of the people in order to gain material possessions. And in this church, you are born at your highest value, but we'll get to that later. In this church, you will be instructed to be of service and will have no greater value based on material possessions or any lesser value based on the lack of material possessions. Things do not matter. Only how much of a service you were to the world while you were here and how you treated your fellow man and woman. If you don't believe in a creator, this church is not for you. In this church, we practice creation. That doesn't mean that if you don't practice creation that we are against you. It just means that the things that I will be speaking about are strictly meant for the people who practice creation, believe in a creator, and want to keep this chain of creation going that we have been blessed with. You are free to end your family's lineage if that's what you choose to do. I don't always feel 100%. So if there's a delay in my uploads, it's just cancer issues, but it's nothing, I promise you. And due to the sad state of the world, there are people that would give anything to trade places with me. That's sad. I only hope that this message is received by you how I intended it to be. And I expect the utmost slander, the utmost hatred, and attacks. But I would also like to state that I am far from perfect. And as I said, I had to walk through flames to bring you this message. The new church will be a blessing to the people. All righteous men and women are welcome. But I am the descendants of stolen Africans and will be teaching from an African standpoint while trying to represent my ancestors in the best way possible. And no matter what condition you see us in, due to the savagery of certain cultures, which I don't need to name because it is on the historical record, and which I am not against because I find no need to embody the behaviors of oppressive peoples in order to gain material wealth and resources. In the United Church of the Creator, your home is the new church, and I would like you to treat your home as you would treat a church. When you step into a church, it is never filthy. People are not constantly cursing in church. And excuse me whenever I do curse. I am imperfect, but I am striving to regain my divinity. The reason I no longer want you to go to these false places of worship is because there are people like Dylan Roof out there, and there is no longer a need to congregate with despicable people pretending to be good while they're in church, then leaving the house of worship and engaging in behaviors beneath that of an animal. As I said, there are no days off from your spirituality in this church. There is no longer a need to put yourself at risk to be victimized while you were in search of fellowship. Your home is your new church. It is a cycle that sadly keeps repeating itself because historically, the African naturally has a kind disposition. I need you to make your home as peaceful as possible. There should be no drugs in your home because there are no drugs inside of a church. There should be no alcohol inside of your home because there is no drinking inside of a church. I do not drink. I do not smoke. I have freed myself from all addictions. I am most definitely into the feminine form, but even that is not an addiction of mine. When I am blessed with it, I fully enjoy it. But when I am without it, I am lacking nothing. I want you to always keep your church clean. No matter what faith you have followed, you have never stepped into a filthy church. Do not allow people you don't love or truly intend to form a relationship with into your church, because you will never know when you are inviting a Dylan Roof into your church, as people come with false representations of themselves. With the home being the new church, I don't want you to allow strangers inside your sanctuary and wonder how bad things happen. Family is the exception, and even then, you need to use discretion because family has stolen so much, and not just in my family, but I'm sure plenty of you understand what I'm saying. Your home is your sanctuary, and it should be your place of peace. There are plenty of things to go and do in the world with your friends, but the home is a sacred environment for your family and children, or just yourself if you haven't created your family yet. I am trying to keep this introduction to the United Church of the Creator as brief as possible. These teachings are being brought to you by an African, which is only right because the original concept of the Creator was given to the world by Africans. And that can be highly offensive to you. That can make you hate me, and that's okay. If you had taken the time to study, you would understand that there is no form of spiritual nourishment being given to you currently that wasn't birthed in the Garden of Eden, otherwise known as Alkebulan. I only use the Garden of Eden as an analogy to describe the paradise that needed nothing from the outside world, but has been and is still currently being pillaged endlessly in order for other cultures to build their quote unquote great civilizations. We were given everything we needed to sustain ourselves, including a natural predisposition to divinity. I would like to welcome everyone who is currently suffering greatly or enjoying a pleasurable existence to the new church. Everyone is welcome in the new church, but in the United Church of the Creator, we practice creation and believe in a Creator. I will be breaking lessons up into individual uploads, some short, some long, depending upon the topic. I will be discussing social issues, teaching divinity, and trying to bring families closer together because it's sad right now. It's really, really sad right now. My number one message to everyone, whether you decide you hate me and you hate my people, is don't check out and never give up because this life is a blessing and a gift, even if you lack everything that your heart desires. This life definitely comes with blows, and I understand it will knock the wind out of you at times, but I never want you to check out. Just ride it out. It is truly brief. And when it comes to the timeline of history, this life is just a blink. So I need you to buckle up, keep your head up, and never let the weight of the world get you down. The confidence that I speak with comes from years and years of research and history, and I know that the African's kind spirit has always been our Achilles heel. But I don't want us to change. It is on us to heal the world. Even as the world feasts upon our resources and calls itself rich while our people starve, I never want you to hate them. I need you to remain the kind-hearted person you were born to be. At this church, we do not turn the other cheek, but we definitely do not mimic the behaviors of the destructive cultures that have led the world to its current state. I would like to repeat that this church is open to everybody, but my aim is to teach from an African standpoint and unite all Africans worldwide with the same enthusiasm that was put forth to divide us. I only hope to represent my ancestors and embody their teachings to a T. Anyone who is offended by the truth isn't seeking a righteous path anyways. The written record shows who has been treated poorly and who has been treated righteously. A new church is needed that preaches no confusion. In the United Church of the Creator, you will not be able to molest children and think that you are representing the Creator. That is false doctrine. In the United Church of the Creator, no one has slaves. As the Honorable Prophet Dr. John Henrik Clarke has stated, the Creator has no stepchildren and no favorites. And when you say that the Creator placed one people over another, you are making him an accessory to murder, rape, and pillaging, which is all false doctrine. I need you to reject that and all other false doctrines. And I know some of you will be clutching onto it as the truth, but that is a lie. The Creator does not kill anything or anyone, not even the worst of the worst. But one of the foulest things you can do is say you are killing someone in the name of the Creator. There is no such thing as a holy war. That in itself is an oxymoron. So reject any moron pushing false doctrines. The Creator is about life, the blessing, the gift, not destruction, not murder. The Creator never instructed man to wipe out any cities or destroy any nations, was only saddened by his creation's behavior and forced at some point to turn his back on us. I don't know how much you expected our Father to put up with before he turned his back on us, but I am trying to bring the light back to the world. I am only one man, and I will be up against many teachers of false doctrines, but I'm ready. I am fearless. Death is nothing, and there is nothing that they can do to shake my beliefs. I am a peaceful man, but I want you to know that I accept. You don't have to say anything threatening. Just know that I accept. I came to replace all false doctrines, and if you are an African especially, but also any other race in the world, I need you to understand if any so-called religion was brought to you under distress, with the threat of violence, with chains attached, or associated with any form of brutality, that it should be wholeheartedly rejected. Just as a quick, understandable analogy, under, imagine a woman being violated by a man, and then that same man who ignored her while she was begging for mercy and pleading for him to stop violating her, then turns around and says that he is going to teach her about righteousness and compassionate behavior and spirituality. We are beyond the bullshit. It's too late for all of that. No more preaching confusion. The food that I am bringing to you is up to you to digest and find agreeable or disagreeable. You will never be forced into this church, and you will never be able to say that you are a member of this church without upholding the highest standards of conduct as my ancestors did. I only hope that this message finds you at the perfect time in your life, if only to encourage you to never give up, because the gift of life is everything, with nothing else attached to it. I don't care who feels disrespected by the founding of the new church. Imagine the disrespect my people have had to take for centuries while being told we were cursed, and that's why we were slaves in order to mask the fuckery of man, or the 1,000-year conquest by a so-called religion of peace that left a wake of destruction in my people's land. Everyone has been complicit in the destruction of Africa and of Africans worldwide. We have even had and will always have traitors amongst us, but I am here to unify us and let nothing ever separate us again, as we are all we have in actuality. Also, in the United Church of the Creator, we don't practice spookism and look outside the realm of understanding. In the United Church of the Creator, we honor our mothers and fathers, which are our true creators through the Creator, all the way back to the beginning. They needed you to negate the importance of the sacrifice that was made by your parents coming together and giving you the gift of life in order to gain power in their so-called churches, and leave you room to disrespect your creators in any way, which is the ultimate crime. Even though I am the messenger, and even if you end up falling in love with the messages I intend to bring forth, no one in your life ever is more valuable than your mother and father who created you through the Creator. If you are listening to this message, pause it, text your mother and your father that you love them and thank you for this life. When you wake up, if you're feeling thankful, you can thank the Creator, but then you must definitely thank your creators through the Creator, because it's a chain that goes all the way back to the beginning. This is where my ancestors got the elder worship from. If you are not humble enough to sincerely thank your parents for this life they gifted you, you are not a member of this church. I am a fatherless and motherless child, and by that, I do not mean any falsehood that I was born from anything besides a man and a woman, just that my mother was preoccupied with things that did not allow her to occupy her throne, and I still look at her as an amazing woman, no matter how she looks at herself or her conduct. I can never repay her for giving me this life. She is my creator through the Creator, and my father, even if he never fucked with me my whole life and was the cause of major suffering and heartbreak in the brief moment that I was so happy to meet him, I am so thankful in that brief moment he came together with my mother to give me the opportunity to experience this thing we call life. I need everyone who hears this message to come from that standpoint in life. You can never hate your creators the same way you would never say you hate the Creator. You can give your creators distance if you must, because they are breaking your heart with the way they are choosing to live or the way they are treating you, but you can never be above your creators. I need you to humble yourself. You can be the richest man in the world and your mother and father the poorest people in the world, and they're still above you because they are your creators. And without your creators, nothing that you have is possible. Whether it be your financial situation, the loving family that you enjoy so much, keep in mind that your creators that you pass judgment on are the only reason those things are possible. And give thanks endlessly to your creators through the Creator. I'm here to tell you to honor them because these false doctrines have you honoring things outside of your creators, and that leaves you in an endless loop of wishing you would have done this or would have done that, and giving thanks to something you've never seen or heard from, while not thanking your father for planting the seed of life and your mother for going through it, whether it be during pregnancy or giving birth. You have creators that you can hold and talk to right here. Do not let them fool you. My mother, with everything she has done to her children in this life, knows that she is loved. She can never do anything to make me hate her. Give her distance because it breaks my heart to watch her continuously harm herself? Yes, but hate her? Never. I try to teach my siblings what I know to be true, but the pain and trauma is real. I only hope they understand what I understand before she is gone. Our creators, through the Creator, can abdicate their thrones, but never let that give you the false impression, even if you are the image of perfection, that you are above your creators or the Creator. Both of mine rejected their responsibility to make sure I felt loved and was given guidance in any way, but I still live in a place of appreciation that my creators came together to bless me with this life, no matter how traumatic it's been. Don't worry about the naysayers saying this is blasphemy. No. Blasphemy is saying you are the Creator's representation on earth. There is only one Creator, and no one outside of the Creator is to be honored or held in high regard besides your creators through the Creator. And then your creators' creators, meaning your grandparents on both sides. And we can run this line all the way back to the time of creation. So honor your elders, be humble, and thank every person that is still alive or has passed regularly for their contribution to this chain that has allowed you to exist in this brief moment of history. No spookism, period. No confusion, period. I am here to tear down the old banners, and this new church will be a blessing to anyone who is in search of a peaceful existence and a peaceful mind and a pure heart. We are in a state of chaos, and these old banners continuously contribute to the chaos in the world, while having the nerve to attach the Creator's name to it, which is flawed within itself. The Creator is not a murderer. The Creator does not take life. The Creator gives life. Let the lost hang on to their gods of destruction. I bring a whole new teaching. I have suffered in many ways that most have not, and men around me have checked out, and I do not see them as weak because I fully understand how painful this life can be at times. But for you who are here to receive this message, I don't want you to check out. I wish I could have been there for them in their time of need so that they wouldn't have checked out. But we need a whole new loving movement. I would like to end by saying, I'm not sure how this cancer shit is going to play out, but such is life. But I never want you to give up, no matter what you're going through. And if I happen to not upload as much as I would like, it's because as much as I would like to share the experiences that have brought me to the place of understanding to be able to bring a message as a prophet does, I have responsibilities. And if by chance my daughter just wants to color or play, then you have to understand that to put a smile on her face and be present in her life is very important to me. But from now on, every time you're enjoying some experience that makes you smile, call or text your mother and father and thank them for this life. My mother personally doesn't understand or comprehend being honored in this fashion because she was raised under false doctrines and doesn't know that she's my creator through the creator, or that she was supposed to embody the queenly characteristics that would have never changed our perception of her once the veil was lifted. To my Africans worldwide, I have put together a study list for you to learn your whole history from the beginning to the current time. In order to put it together, I had to watch every video from every contributor on the list and select the ones that I thought would be the most impactful on the hearts and minds of my people. I have been going state to state and circulating this list in the streets for years already, and it has been very impactful to a lot of people who did not understand that we were more than what we have been made to become under these circumstances. To all the master teachers who are not on the list, I greatly apologize. I made this list more than 7 years ago, and I will be sure to acknowledge every known African who has contributed to the wealth of knowledge that I have been able to soak up in due time. My apologies to my elders. There are so many of you that need to be on this list, but I do hope that you feel I have done justice with what I have put together with the knowledge that I had at that time. In the bottom right section, you will notice some key things that I put together that will liberate us as a people. First, you will notice group economics. At 18, you are an adult in the U.S., 21 according to Kemetic law, and have had a free life up until that point. And it is now time for you to contribute to your family. And by contributing to your family, you will learn the necessary tools you will need when you step out into the world on your own. No one should be taking advantage of anyone they say they love, whether it be family or your significant other. Everyone needs to contribute. Second, you will see give to 10 black people you don't know. While we are in need of the reparations that are due to us for the atrocities committed upon us, if we simply give to 10 black people that we do not know, whether you are one of the richest among us or one of us with the least, this is all we have to do, and in no time we will be in a better position than we are currently in. If one of us is suffering, all of us are suffering. It does not have to be anything extravagant, but go into your closets, find things that you are not using, and bless somebody less fortunate than you. Instead of throwing away any edible food, take a short drive and bless someone. You cannot call yourself a member of this church while ignoring the suffering of the world around you. Because in reality, most of us are one serious illness, one layoff, or one random bad accident away from being out on the streets ourselves. Third, you will see, say hello to every black person you pass. I feel that this is very important to add because an animosity towards each other has been implanted upon us from colonization to the plantation times up until now, to the point that some of us think we are our only opposition. Understand how often you will be ignored and don't take it personally. That plantation mentality is deeply ingrained in a lot of us. Those three things alone are the keys to unifying us. I personally have fed more people than Jesus with no magic tricks, just valuing the condition of people around me more than I value having money in a safe that I could be using to alleviate someone's hunger, even if it is making just a tiny impact. I have never harmed another man, especially an African. Now, stepped on people who left me no way around it, with the Creator as my witness? Yes. But right now, I need you to know that I would not harm you for a cure to cancer, and no one could pay me $1 billion to kill you. I need you to get your spirit in order and understand that you gave civilization to the world, and that civilized conduct was tailored by you. Also, there will be a link to a short book I have published about relationship guidelines based on nature as our ancestors lived in accordance to. Whether you are an African or not, I feel the book will serve you well. Even though I am speaking about relationships, the book can also be applied to your family. Look at your family as your pride and make sure that you are doing your part. It is no one's job to carry everyone, but if each person does their part, it will be a beautiful thing for sure. And right now, a lot of families and relationships are practicing usury. And if that's what you are into, you are not a member of this church. Also, to my Africans worldwide, our new battle cry to any injustice or derogatory depictions being portrayed of our people through media outlets that we do not own is anti-Kemetic. If you have been studying, then you know the Kemetic people are older than any other people, and we're a composite nation of Africans who said they came from the Nile. We will now be a composite nation of Africans worldwide. And if you see anything that is the normal racist propaganda, let them know that they are being anti-Kemetic. I want you to use that term as liberally as other people use their anti-terms, because we are experiencing anti-Kemetic treatment from all directions, whether it be through anti-Kemetic laws, anti-Kemetic movies, anti-Kemetic news reports, anti-Kemetic hiring practices, hashtag anti-Kemetic if you see anything that is a misrepresentation of our people. They're going to be real mad at me, but like I told you, I came to unify us and I don't fear anything. As Greece and Rome gave praise to the things they learned from Africa, all are welcome to take anything positive from this church that are willing to set aside spookism, false doctrine, and savagery of any kind. This message was brought to you with love from the United Church of the Creator, and I hope you all have a blessed day. Thank you for tuning in.